Eric Muathe from Muathe.com. Let's take a look at the current EWZ chart on the weekly. We can see here the potential for crossover, which would be bearish between the 13-week moving average and the 34-week moving average. So that does sensitize us to the idea that if we crack and continue having this look, potentials continue pointing down. Keep in mind the last time we crossed over was here. We had a nice uptick. Now let's take a look at this same instrument on the daily, but we're going to take a look at this from the point of view of my playlist called the Muathe Virgin Breakout. Check the description of the video for a link going into more of this and with lots of examples. Let's take a look at the EWZ current daily chart, and you can see here we have what looks like a flat 50-day moving, 200-day moving average, which is flat for the most part. We have what looks like a declining 50-day moving average. So let's reason this out. The only way, if you stop right there, the only way in the future we could potentially get a bearish crossover between the 50 undercutting the 200-day moving average is with a price acceleration to the downside. That's the only way. Prices would have to drop significantly and quickly for us to get this immediate crossover. Hence the method. So what you do, you take the lowest close. Remember, it works for bullish trades and for bearish trades. This is a good example of a bearish potential trade. This is the period where the 200-day moving average is flat. So when the 200-day moving average is flat, you take the lowest daily close during that period. That so happens to be at 32.75, which is this daily close. And what you do, you set an alert and you forget about it, right? At some point, if you find that the stock is alerting you that it has breached 32.75, that would be suggesting that it is breaking below the pivot point, which is the lowest daily close during the period when the RSI is flat. Any move below 32.75 means that you can take a bearish position in anticipation of potential price deceleration. Why? Because the only way we can get this crossover is by a huge drop in price, and that's what you are playing here, the mathematics. So anything below 32.75 would be a break of the recent lows, while the 200-day moving average is flat. I think it's a perfect example to learn from. Let's see what happens if it breaks below 32.75. By the way, one thing I have to point out, you'll notice with this method tends to be a lot of volatility, lots of confusion, but keep your eye on the price. And the price is, if it ever drops below that 32.75 and stays below that, as long as it is below 32.75 in the near term, chances are we might get this crossover, which is bearish crossover between the 50 and the 200-day. Chances are we might get a huge price deceleration rapidly down that might last a couple weeks, maybe a couple days. Eric Muathe, Muathe.com. As always, good luck, peace, and blessings. ESCS. Woo!